Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Reverse Engineering Podcast. I am your co-host Alvaro, and with me today
you know who
is Jen.
Yes,
Surprise!
yes, it's Jen. It's surprise.
And we have no guests. Surprise!
Yes, surprise. But you know what's fabulous? Both of us are wearing T-shirts that mine says nothing.
Mine says
but
Barbie.
Yours says a little thing going on. Oh, Alamo. Does it glow?
Alamo Draft House. I don't know. I watched the Barbie movie on Friday, and so I got a pink shirt with Barbie on it. And then on Saturday morning, I wore my pink shirt to go to watch Oppenheimer at the IMAX,
perfect
because you got to watch it on IMAX.
Yes. I feel like, and you can see here, I have, it's not the same, but I have my Gem and the Holograms costume right here.
If you go watch Barbie,
maybe I should wear that.
If you wear it, you'll fit in.
I need the,
there was so much pink.
There's a lot of pink.
And in the back, I don't know.
And I have so much, Oh, it has a star with Barbie.
Hell yeah. But yeah.
I was, I have a lot of Barbies. I will say that, right?
Well, you had the smart one, right? You were if we
go
back to the early days of this podcast.
Yeah, we have the hardware reverse engineering meetup.
The Mountain View hardware reverse.
Yes, the Mountain View. Yes. It's localized. It's not international. I think my first project I was like reverse engineering Hello Barbie, which is the IoT Barbie.
Yeah.
Why did it sound like a computer when I said that?
Hello Barbie.
Didn't mean to. Hello Barbie. Would you like to play a game? And actually, she does play games. It was very interesting. She does. I would say it's mostly social engineering. Barbie was that whole thing, because it would ask you questions and I remember like, oh, you have a sister, or you have this, or this is the dream job that you
creepy
want. It would
Barbie.
Collect all that. It was very creepy. And your parents could play it back and save it and put it online for you. It was a little weird. Anyway, but I have like the dress drawing Barbie and the picture taking Barbie. And then I have like kind of like the inert ones, like the computer engineering Barbie and the entrepreneur Barbie,
the non-electronic,
which is really, and the gamer dev. And I like to think of those three as like my go-tos if I was ever going to like go to VC Barbie. Like I would collect all of them and then put them in a big diorama so they could like live out like doing a pitch. It's just like in my head that would just be bomb, and then invite over what's her name, who did the Hacker Barbie memes,
Natalie.
No.
Natalie had some other memes.
What's her name's daughter? Oh no, I'm gonna look at my phone. Vicky Tuitt's daughter, Kathleen.
Oh, Kathleen.
Yeah, she did those like a long time ago, because man, those books were so bad. Math is hard. Well, she didn't. That's not what said in the book, but like the old days when there was the infamous hack of the talking Barbies and the talking GI Joes. Some group. So we're wildly boring people probably, but if you're old like me, you may remember this. There was a talking Barbie and a talking GI Joe, full 12-inch. And they had voice modules, and you'd press a button and they would say things. And Barbie said, math is hard. And that really upset a lot of feminists. And I remember my calculus teacher asked me how I felt about that at the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's fucked up. Whatever. I said it in a different way, obviously. And so apparently some people went into the factory, swapped the voice boxes. So like, and it was like, I think right before Christmas. So now you have young kids Christmas morning or whatever, like playing with their GI Joes and Barbies, and like GI Joe is like going, math is hard. And I would have loved to have that. Yeah. That was like 92,
Oh,
93,
cool.
something like that.
Some fun.
Some protest
Yeah, I like
hacking.
it.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that would be wonderful to go back and have. Anyway, so you saw that. I haven't seen anything because I've been busy doing other
I mean, all this
things.
talk of Barbie and G.I. Joe reminds me of the classic Small Soldiers.
What are the classic Small
No,
Soldiers?
that's a movie. Small
What
Soldiers
is
with
that?
Kirsten Dunst
I
and
don't.
it's a classic.
What is this?
They're making these toys like GI Joes, if you will,
Yeah,
and
it happens.
to make them more intelligent, they it's this mega corporation,
hmm
and they're like, oh, we have these intelligent like self-learning AI chip for our defense department. Let's put it.
So not nanobots.
No.
None.
It's just like this magical microchip that
Yes.
they put
Okay.
in those toys to make him like learning, and that way they can speak and learn.
Yeah.
But then they kind of are sentient, and they decide to start fighting each other, and then they race up against the humans. It's great. Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll put it on my list. If you put on your list the movie Toys with Robin Williams, if you haven't seen it. It's not really hacker like, but LL Cool J is in it.
Toys?
I don't know if that's really an ad. Yeah, Toys. But I think it's T.O.Y.S. And I think it had Joan Cusack in it, if I remember correctly also.
Have I seen this? Oh, with Robin Williams.
It's
just called Toys.
And it was filmed, like you can see how it's like filmed it is filmed kind of like in the Bay Area because you can see the rolling hills.
Yeah, 1992. I have not seen it.
Were you alive?
I was very much so.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It was very ageist
I might have been
of me.
too young for this movie, but I was alive.
Yeah. One thing that and we'll get to the announcement later, but this maybe kind of gives you a sense of what the movie Jumping Jack Flash starring Whoopi Goldberg came back on Hulu. And I guess I used to love that movie, maybe because it was the 80s, whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this because the way they described it, they describe her like a hacker. So I'm like, oh, hacker, Whoopi Goldberg as a hacker in the 80s. That's very understated. Like, maybe I need to go back and watch this again to understand. And I guess in some ways she was, and it was very interesting. So if if you're looking for another movie to fill out your hacker dreams, check out Jumping Jack Flash on Hulu. Yes.
I'll have to look them up because I have not heard of that one either.
It's 80s. You'll see a bunch of people who now look very different and old, looking young.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
It's pretty crazy.
Stop motion animation dedicated to the Rolling Stones and myself?
Nope. It is based on a Rolling Stones song that does play a pivotal role.
Huh. Well, I'll have to look it up.
Yes.
I was Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Take all of my suggestions or none of them. But I'm not gonna spoil any movies. But then again, if you haven't seen it by now,
I see.
But if you haven't seen it by now,
it's Jumpin', no G.
Yes.
Jack Flash, because there is a jumping, but that was something else.
Yes, that's something else.
Oh yeah, that is a young. Yeah, okay, I was not alive when this came out. Anyway.
Anyway. Well, we are wildly
we're out of
far
practice
away
because we haven't done. Yeah, I guess we did May, I think, right? Last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time. We've been busy.
People loved my T-shirt that I made based on the quote from our last guest. It does.
Oh, you made a T-shirt?
Oh,
which
yeah.
one?
You want me to? Oh, hold on. You keep recording, and we'll just put music in here while I grab this. Let's see. Mind you, this is a shirt that I was planning on throwing away, and maybe I should wear this to the Barbie Who's a What's It. But you could see it right here.
Rust. I hear people talk. Can you send me a picture of that? I'll send it to her.
It's on Twitter.
Oh, is it?
I have it on Twitter.
Cool.
Yeah. It says, oh yeah, for those of you who forgot last show, or this is the first time you've ever tuned in, or you for some reason skipped the last show, I don't know. It says Rust in 70s font with the layers, so it's black with sparkly pink in the middle, saying Rust. And then a bubble letters below it that says, I hear people talk about it.
Oh, you did it really soon after too.
Yeah. I did not. I was no slouch.
Whoa.
It looks nice, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I did not show it to any coworkers that may or may not be involved in Rust.
That's hilarious. Anyway, we're recording a podcast.
Anyway, I guess we're doing that, not just catching up.
But yeah, while people are still here before we lose even more people,
oh God,
I do want to say I'm going to be in Germany in a few weeks for CC camp, for Chaos Communication Camp. So
excellent.
Hopefully I get to see a bunch of friends, past guests of the show. I will bring portable recording gear so we can get some episodes in.
Excellent. Do you have enough stickers? Will you have stickers?
I do have
for
stickers.
Everybody?
I'll check. Okay. I'll check my stock levels, but I think it'll be enough. Otherwise, it'd be too much to want to take anyway. So, because I'm just gonna have a backpack. I also
can give you more though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I'll see you beforehand at the Mountain View Reverse Engineering meetup.
Don't tell yet. We're not there yet.
Well, but I mean, it happens.
Guys, stay tuned. Keep listening for important announcements and whatnots.
Last weekend, I quote unquote worked an event called OpenSauce, which was kind of a spiritual successor of Maker Faire / YouTubers. So
yeah, how was that? Because
it was really nice. Yeah. Like it really had Maker Faire vibes. They did have a lot of YouTube creators that brought their projects, and then like the bigger names did panels or things like that. But it was really, really fun. And I scammed my way in by having a repair station. So I proposed an exhibit saying, hey, I've been to Maker Faire, I've been to a lot of these things, and it really sucks to come over and you fly from somewhere, you drive from somewhere, and you get there and your thing's broken, it doesn't work, and you don't have tools. So I'm local in San Francisco at the moment. So I said, hey, I'm going to bring my lab and just set it up. And so I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday helping people fix their stuff or just lending tools out. And that is incredible. It was a lot of fun. And I had stickers. I did do some marketing. So I did put stickers out. People grabbed them. Some people asked about them. And then there were some listeners. So if you're listening and I met you, thanks for stopping by. It was really cool. Man. Like, oh, I actually listened to the show. That's could they tell from your voice, or they just from your picture? Some people do as the voice when they hear me talking. They're like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I never expect it.
It's just a series of O's. Yeah, it's been a while. I guess that's a way better proposition. So first of all, I heard, I know John McMaster at all, like down here, they were really prepping and doing a lot to get stuff up there to help. I know they were looking for people to like take tables to like demonstrate, to do demos. And I do not think it would be in good faith that I come up there and bring all the stuff that I'm trying to get rid of and just put it on the table and then walk away. So I did not go.
Speaking of that,
people putting junk on the table and leaving?
So a few weeks, like 3 weeks ago, I think I was in Portland for a Cross Supply Teardown Conference, which is like open source hardware. And they do have a table where people bring all their dev boards and all that stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, it was big tables and free for all, and people come and grab a bunch of stuff. And then eventually, I think, if I understand correctly, and I hope I'm correct, everything left, they'll e-cycle, or like they'll take it to the like the local proper waste disposal. E-waste. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. E-waste disposal. Yeah. Perfect. So then anything that might be of use to anyone, they can grab it. You can get rid of stuff in a proper way. So it was really cool. And the whole conference was fantastic. I got to see some past guests of the show, some friends, and just hang out with fun people. That was really nice.
Yeah. I really hope they do it again.
Oh,
There's such a need for, like, man, it was such a bummer when Maker Faire went
it's coming
away.
back.
Like, regardless of
So it's going to be at Mare Island, near Vallejo,
Muir
or
Island
Mare.
or
I don't know what it. No,
MUIR?
Mare. Is it Mare?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like I guess
okay.
an old naval base, or I guess
I wasn't sure if you were saying like mayor,
like
like mayor,
like the mayor of
or
the
like
town.
werewolf, or
No, I think it's
mayor like mayor like mermaid. Like,
Mare.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a ferry ride from San Francisco, or like
Hmm.
a drive from here. So it's not San
Yeah.
Mateo as it used to be, but it's come back in October, and it's the same team. So who knows? Might be
Good.
good.
When is it
In
coming back
October,
again?
it's actually they're doing 2 weekends, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Ah,
It's
you mean the fact that Madonna's tour has been postponed and that driving a dagger in my heart is no longer an issue because I can come there and actually do some techie things
yes.
for 2 weekends? Yeah, I don't know if that's going to pan out. There's also a game sound developers conference down in
Oh, that
LA.
sounds interesting.
It is actually.
But anyway, yeah, conference is fun. Yeah, hopefully, if you're it's Chaos Camp, reach out, let me know if you want to meet
Mhm.
up, or yeah, because finding is hard in those. There's like 6,000 people. So, but anyway, I hope to
Yes.
find folks and hang out.
I do kind of wonder if we want to bring more t-shirts, but I don't think you have any space for
No, I'm
that.
literally gonna take a backpack.
You're only taking a backpack, a big
Nope.
backpack, or a little one?
Yeah, it's not that big. It's like
Is it a
30,
little baby?
35 liters.
And you're gonna bring your USB testers, which, by the way, what that actually helped me a
Oh,
lot
I did get
in
you
our
one.
household. Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
cool.
And then yeah. You did give me one, and then but you had to like tell me some key information.
Not to rip the USB port, or no,
No.
the battery.
I'm like, what the
You're
hell?
not the only one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So for
It's
folks who don't know, I made a USB cable tester. So when you have your USB cable that only has power on ground, it doesn't have data, and they shouldn't exist. I made a thing that you plug in, basically the cable on both sides, and it lights up the LEDs if it has ground, if it has power, if it has data, and it works with USB A, USB C, micro, mini, B.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a hodgepodge, and
Yeah.
it's on GitHub. I'll put a link if you want to
Yeah.
order it. I have instructions how to get it from JLC. But I also
Yep.
handed a bunch of those out at OpenSauce because I had a bunch of broken ones, and while people weren't in need of fixing
Weren't
things, I
repairing
repaired my
stuff.
own shit. So it was and it was also a good
Ah. Yeah.
conversation starter.
Yeah. So what's funny about that is like when you gave me this, I was like, oh, it's like those network cable boxes I used to have. Like you would just plug in the two ends and you go, oh, is it straight
Yeah,
through or a
exactly.
crossover? Is it straight through or a crossover? Back when I was doing a lot of sysadminning. That said, okay, maybe this is like a good point for us to segue into God. Speaking of lots of random dev boards that you don't necessarily need, maybe you need a day that you could celebrate all your awesome firmwareness. Back in November apparently, I commented about that there's a project manager's day, and I'm like, where the hell is our day? I asked for people to suggest days when we should have our own firmware engineers day, and it's August 16th. It was dictated, but you can even see the thread on Twitter when that was decided, who was the originator of that. We're going to put a link in the notes. But I really want to see if we can make this happen enough that people won't forget it the following year too. I don't know what the traditional gifts are. I'm suspecting it's going to be handing out boards. Paul from the JPRC, man, I always get the 4 letters mixed up. JPRC, the guy who makes
Yeah,
teensies.
Paul Straffagen.
He was asking, he's asking me, what's this all about? And I'm like giving him so like, I think if we spread the word, it would be really awesome for people to just like give out, like, buy some of the smaller boards, hand them out to your favorite firmware engineers, swap and what have you. And if there happens to be e-waste, maybe you guys can put together a collection of, we can e-waste collect
Yeah.
away. But I think it would be nice that, or you give people books or tips or I don't know, something.
Books.
I don't know. What are your
What a
thoughts?
segue.
Books. Books.
No, we can do books later.
But I don't know. What do you think? Are you excited for Firmware Engineers
I
Day?
just found out about it.
You gonna make a card?
Honestly, probably not. But got to start somewhere. I'm not a big celebrator of anything really, of any kind.
Not even Festivus.
Not really. I'm like.
It's for the rest of us.
I'm a multi-talented Grinch. Like I just don't.
Multi-talented Grinch.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many gold records do you have, multi-talented Grinch? Do you have an Emmy also?
Yeah, no.
A Tony?
Yeah, I'm I just don't celebrate things in general. Like,
okay.
Hey, happy birthday. It's just like my peak.
You're still living. Hey, congrats. Yeah. Hey. When did you become Fonzie? Hey. Well, I'm going to say something on 8/16 somehow at some point in the day. I don't know.
I'll be in Germany.
Yeah. So, I guess that's my impression of speaking German, even though at some point I spoke more German than that as a child. As a young child in Bitburg.
Oh, because you lived there.
I would eat the gummy bears.
You lived there, yeah.
Yeah.
My headphones are broken. I'm trying to get them back on.
Oh, that's the excuse?
No. It just the ear thing pops out, and then
all
the outside sound leaks in. Zip ties are holding them together right now. I ordered replacement parts, but
what if I got you a dev board that fixed your headphones?
What happened to your voice there?
I don't know.
A dev board.
It's only smoked a lot.
Yeah. It's
that
all
dev board's not going to work out so well. I don't. Nobody needs to hear me making funny voices. That's not what the purpose of this show is.
It's a different podcast.
It's a different one. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to be in voiceover, don't listen to the podcast. They're incredibly boring.
Oh, there's voiceover podcasts?
Oh my God, there are so many.
You think they'd be good because they'd be doing
the
voices.
ones who did all the so the ones who did all of your favorite cartoons, those are fine. Yeah. Those are fine. It's just other people who are like maybe they're getting paid, maybe not, the independent consultants or whatever. But
the ones that have time to make a podcast.
Yeah, basically. They're telling you about don't watch any of that. Okay. Anyway, back to this podcast. You should probably cut this. I know you won't probably, but let's find out.
Well, I did try to segue to books a little too early, but I have been reading things.
What?
I know.
What?
Well,
with your eyes?
No, with my ears actually.
Oh, yeah, that sounds on brand for you. For both
I read
of us.
with my ears. No, actually, I mostly do audiobooks, but
I smell with my toes.
Two of these were not available in audio form, so
don't tell me the ARM assembly and reverse engineering guide.
Yeah, that's not on.
That's really hard.
So that's from Azaria.
Yep.
It's called ARM assembly and reverse engineering. And this is the first book, ARM assembly internals reverse engineering, Blue Fox edition. And that's kind of like more the blue team side of things, but it basically goes from 0 to I'm going to teach you ARM 64 assembly or 832 and 64, and you start learning that. And I'm kind of a quarter of the way in or something, and I do like the detail. I'm able to grasp it. I did assembly back in the MSP 430. But that's as far as I got. I never did more than 16-bit assembly, like writing it.
Okay. I have so many questions. Okay. First is what it counts as blue team for myself in the audience.
So you'll hear blue team and red team and security. And blue team's kind of the defense and red team's kind of the offense. So in my understanding, I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but it's teaching you operating system stuff, ARM assembly, that kind of thing. Into like, hey, this is how things work, and more in a defense-minded thing. My understanding of the following one's going to be more exploit focused of like, okay, with your now this tool set that you have of ARM assembly, how would you use this to kind of do exploits or that kind of thing?
Okay. I'm assuming that the reason why we're using blue and red is because we've transitioned away from using white and black.
I don't know. I think no, because red can still be a good thing. Like a lot of companies will have a red team, an internal
Mm,
red team, and
okay,
that's a team that's constantly attacking
okay,
their own
okay,
infrastructure.
okay.
So I think these might be parallel things. I don't know if it comes from the
It's
military,
fine.
red teaming, and now you'll hear
No,
purple.
the colors totally make
Yeah,
sense though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know if it was like flags or something.
Probably a
But yeah,
CTF
we'll have links to this.
style.
The armor exploitation.
Okay.
Another one that this one I listened to. It's called Fancy Bear Goes Fishing with a PH for fishing, and that one is a more. It's written by Scott Shapiro,
Mhm.
and it kind of has a history of fishing, not just fishing, but like kind of security. So it has a chapter, or no, a set of chapter on kind of the history of some of the early, actually some of the malware authors we talked about in the last
Yeah.
episode, and
Yeah.
interviews with them, and his stories from at the time where people are trying to understand
Mhm.
kind of why people do certain things. Why do people create viruses, right? Like some are doing it for fun, some are doing it for other things,
Mhm.
and also just kind of the current state of state sponsored phishing and all that stuff. It's really interesting. uh,
Mhm.
some of the stuff might be basic for some of the more technical listeners, like if you're in
Mhm.
security and stuff. Okay, some of these chapters might seem very high level for you, but a lot of the history was really interesting. Like the Dark Avenger is the virus writer that there's a good chunk of this.
Mhm.
How did they get
Yeah.
into the Paris Hilton's cell phone way back when, in the with the sidekicks, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
yeah, no, but
Yeah, don't remind me, I was a heavy Sidekick user for a
yeah,
long time.
exactly. But it's got all the stories, and like our past guest said, these things keep repeating themselves. People think
Oh,
that
yeah.
MS-DOS
Oh, yeah.
malware is no longer relevant, and not the case.
No, that was abundantly clear from last episode, which I thought was fabulous. So but does it talk about Fancy Bear specifically
Yeah,
or no?
yeah. The
Okay.
later
Okay.
chapters talk more about that.
Okay. Okay. And just going back to the arm assembly, and this is sh is the book going through, like, every assembly instruction? Because like, when I think
I wouldn't.
about
I don't think every, but
learning
quite a
assembly
bit.
instructions, like, I kinda like, I know that most of the tables are, like, grouped. What what's going on?
No, I was looking because maybe I had the books in the other
The
room. I was
sheet?
just gonna
Yeah.
go get it. Um,
Yeah, the
but no, I would recommend it, even if you're not
mhm.
planning on like writing lots.
Hacking the
Yeah,
Gibson?
but just understanding how
Yeah.
the operating system interacts with, like, how your
Mhm.
code interacts with the operating system is it's showing you how system
Oh, yeah.
calls,
Yep.
and that's stuff that I learned a long time ago, and it's really cool to kind of review it in the context of ARM. And yeah, I would recommend it. Would be awesome to have a chat with her at some point. um but yeah, it's a good
Okay.
content.
Yeah, I feel like this is one that I should have on my reading list. Um, I've had this book for a long time. I guess I don't know whether I read it or reread it, but I haven't gotten very far in the new one into rereading it again to really give you any sort of in-depth, but it's called Fatal System Error by Joseph Menn, who's also the one who wrote the book on the cult of the dead
Oh, that's a good
cow.
book.
And yeah. So if you and I think if I remember correctly, this one's about kind of the background of who's been on, like, the background of, like, the various security people who've been on the internet, or insecure people in some cases, who've been on the internet, and have kind of like made the landscape what it is today. So there's a lot of overlap with the stuff that you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Cult of the Dead Cow, I would also recommend. That was a good history.
Yeah. Yeah.
um and then the one I'm still reading, also not available in audio form, but it was
Mm.
recommended to me by Chris Gerlinski, past guest of the show.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's called Murdoch's Pirates, as in Rupert
Mhm.
Murdoch, the Rupert Murdoch, the
Mhm.
from Sky and
Fox
Fox
and
and
Skynet
Sky
News or
News
Sky News?
and all the tabloid stuff. Yeah, so the story is ridiculous. It was told to me as like, oh, this is the story of the pay TV hacking of the like early 2000s kind of thing, or late 90s. And all the
Mhm.
DirecTV and Sky people were cracking or hacking the cards, the
Mhm.
encryption stuff to basically get free TV, because you
Yep.
got a satellite transmission is gonna it's open, right? So if you're able to figure out that thing, and it was told to me, it's like, oh, it's the history of how they were doing it. They were doing it in Canada because it was not illegal to do the hacking for that in Canada at the time, which I thought was pretty cool, because they said, well, if you don't provide service, if they can't purchase your service in this country, then you're not losing any money by somebody hacking your system and providing it for free, right? Which, like, yeah,
Yeah.
you couldn't like I think it was DirecTV wasn't available in Canada or something, so the people reverse engineering DirecTV stuff would do it in Canada, and DirecTV couldn't
Yeah.
say that they were losing money, right? It got a lot more
Mhm.
complicated than that, but my it was told to me as like, oh, it's the history of this thing. I had no idea how uh, Murdoch was involved, but the summary is that he created this company NTS that was the one creating the
Mhm.
security chip that they were using and selling it to other companies. There was other competitors, so then they were hiring all these hackers and funding them and providing equipment to hack the competitors products, and basically cost them tens of millions of
Oh, yeah.
dollars, or 100, I don't know, a lot, because every
Yep.
time your card gets hacked and published, you got to replace everyone's card and change
Yep.
your encryption scheme, right?
If you
So News Corp or Sky or whatever, NTS, they
Yeah.
had like a network of ex
The family company
yeah,
of
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like ex-military or ex-police, like spies. They had a
Mhm.
whole kind of um spying network and keeping track of people, and then paying off the other hackers so they would hack the other team. Like, it's really, really neat. I highly recommend folks
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you heard about it at the time. I guess it must have been big, but I totally missed it, and it's a really neat telling of, and it's got, and they were talking to people at the time and then after, and they kind of go back and forth, because there was lawsuits and
Mhm.
depositions and all that stuff, but also email threads from, or Usenet. I don't know what they were using, but it's a really
Mhm.
neat story.
Yes, it what's amazing to me is that nobody did their background check to, like, see who you're buying chips from, to know what if there's, like, any conflict of interest is basically what it comes down to, what I'm hearing from you.
Well, no, there was so much more, because they were going down to the silicon, like they were using the
Yeah,
focused
yeah,
ion
cool.
beams, the fibs, to
Yep.
try in the kind of cutting edge of chip protection, like IC security,
Yeah.
was these pay TV companies. It later went
Oh, yeah.
to printer toner security,
Cartridges, yeah.
but at the
Yeah.
time, so the it was some a lot of the hardware hacking techniques were developed by folks doing these pay TV hacking.
Mm.
You'll hear
Yeah.
names like Oliver and Chris Tarnowski. This was
Mhm.
all they were all involved in this one way or another. And then there was like the motorcycle gangs and like the mob in Eastern Europe. Like there's a lot of interesting, scary things. Because yeah, organized crime gets involved whenever money gets made, right? Like if once you're selling these like cheaper hacked cards to people, there's a lot of money being made there, and then organized crime gets involved, and yeah.
Oh, yeah, 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 okay, yeah, yeah. One more thing that's happened, like, in the last week or so? Do you know our former guest, trying to remember his name, goes by the handle Make Augusta, the,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
That
owner.
was the last one last year, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
If you look at what happened there, he taught
David from
the
Cyber
v
City Circuits.
yes, David taught the vice president's wife to solder.
What?
Yes!
That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes.
Where'd you see
Oh
that?
my god. On Twitter.
I
It's
don't
just like,
check
look,
Twitter much anymore. Uh,
you probably shouldn't, but I think maybe he put it elsewhere. But like, it is a picture. He's just like knelt down next to a table helping Jill Biden. Not Jill Biden. No, it is Jill Biden. No, it's the first lady, not the VP.
the
Sorry, I got that backwards. I fucked up there, guys. Jill Biden is being taught to solder by by Dave,
Oh yeah, I see.
and
I'll
there's
put a
clearly
link.
a secret,
That's so cool. I might be the
clearly a super
yeah.
a Secret Service guy there.
Hey, what did you do today? I got to teach the first lady of the United States how to. Oh, Secret Service must have loved him.
Oh yeah, no, they were like all like, "What are you doing?" But they were also when I look at it, they look very fascinated.
That is
It's great.
badass. Oh, that's so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna
Like
put links to all
my
these.
the primary method of me getting a solder thing done right is me nudging it with my very calloused finger. Now, Jill, just nudge it here. No, it won't burn. Just
Oh,
don't
I
worry.
totally. Yeah,
It's
this
fine.
was just 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Good for him. That's really cool. Yeah, I guess
That's
he's running a workshop for kids,
mm-hmm.
and for some reason she was there, and
Well, she's a teacher. Like that's that's her
yeah,
background. And the children are the future, so
that's
make
awesome,
them solder.
David. Yeah, we'll have to. We should post it on the Discord as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, let's see. What else? Are you busy editing? I'll just sit here and try not to beatbox.
No, I was just pasting links and stuff.
I know you are.
That was cool.
So, yes, that's very cool. Now then, how many minutes? We waste a lot of time talking about nothing.
No, we're talking about reverse
Don't tell the
engineering and
audience.
books and the
I
mountain of
know we
reverse
are.
engineering.
We are. Kind of.
um,
Sorry, audience. I
well,
mean,
while we're speaking about past
kinda.
guests of the show,
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
uh, another past guest of the show now has a YouTube. Hash. Yeah, it was Hash. He's doing the
Yeah.
RECESSIM in his YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and he's doing kind of reverse engineering news. So because we're way too slow at
Yes.
doing stuff, you should
We
go check out Hash's YouTube channel. I put a playlist there, and he's
Okay.
releasing I don't know if it's every week or every few days, but he'll do like a 4-minute video on kind of reverse engineering news, which is really
He's microblog yeah, he's microblogging.
yeah.
I am so happy for him because, like, I do not have that fortitude.
No, and
It
it's
would
good
just
content, and he's
yeah,
he prepares
he's
for it.
on it.
Remember when we talked about it? He's really diligent about how he
Oh god,
prepares
yes.
for the video.
Mhm.
He's got like suit and
Mhm.
tie on. He's making it kind of like a show of it, and
And this is the rest of the news.
yeah.
Does he have, like, a sign-off line or
Oh,
something yet? I
I
wanna check
don't
it out.
remember, but yeah, they're all less than like 10 minutes, and
Awesome.
so if you're curious about what's going on in reverse engineering, we're not going to be able to keep up with
We're
it.
not those people, guys, I'm
So
sorry to tell
go
you.
check out RECESSIM
Yeah.
on YouTube. I'll put it was episode 53 with
Uh-huh.
Hash, December
Mhm.
21. Wow, it doesn't feel like
Okay.
wow. Yep. Anyway,
We're still the other so in other news, this is less illustrious. Sammy, let me make sure I have this right before I clearly put my foot in my mouth because
definitely won't
he's
cut
probably gonna hear
that.
this and give me a face for even mentioning this. Oh, Sammy. So Sammy, uh, gosh, I can't. What's his
Sammy
handle?
Camcar?
Yeah, like oh, here we go. Yeah, in other news, yesterday he had an accident with a banana in a blender.
What?
This is not news. This is what you would filter it out, but you have to see this. It just made me laugh so hard. It's just he has like green goo on his face because
Oh,
he's just
a Sammy Camcar. Oh wow.
attempted a more efficient way of blending a frozen banana into my Body Factory smoothie. Did not work, and I have to say it is impressive. And I want to just say the value of a fail is just as good as a
It's
value
a
of a
lesson learned.
success. It is definitely a lesson learned. I know not to do that
There's
now.
Ghostbuster gifs in the comments and the replies.
It does. It does. I'm like, why is it
or
green?
other past gas stack smashing. It looks like it blended quite well.
Yes. You just use the beauty blender and just kind of blend it
the
in.
blending worked. It didn't stay in the blender. That's a different.
Yeah, it didn't. It was released.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I would have to say is like I'm continuously, for all the, the stereotype of hackers, reverse engineer, like all these people, security pro, like is always that they're kind of like always trying to make you feel like shit, like you don't know enough, you're not lead enough, but like these are like the community itself always feels like surprisingly like happy to have you, regardless of like how, just like I've never like in other communities I've been in, and including hardware, there's always kind of like you need to keep doing stuff to show that you're to kind of show that you're like good enough, and then like but I feel like this one's so like, yeah, you do something, you don't do something, yeah, you're here.
Yeah.
Let's just geek out. and that's one thing that's just always continuously impressed me. Anyway, that's an aside. So we're working on some exciting things.
We are? Yes,
okay,
we are.
Me.
Yes, exciting.
We are. Yeah. Okay, things. I mean, unless there's some other exciting thing that we wanted to talk about before we got to these other exciting things. Okay, that's fine. So we don't have details yet, so stay tuned for potentially some like announcements about, like panels, maybe that I might be on. Maybe.
Oh.
Still waiting.
Oh,
maybe.
yes. Oh, cool.
But we don't know. We don't know. Things are being finalized. If they work out, great. If they don't,
Twitter and Mastodon.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
And Blue Sky.
We can do a Blue Sky for the podcast. I have so many invites.
I think I have enough. I have so many invites, codes.
Yeah.
Hit us up
if you want to be on Blue Sky for whatever reason. We're not on Threads. I mean, I'm on Threads personally, but I don't check it because it's got the weird algorithmic feed that shows me people who I don't follow, and that's a no for me.
It's like Twitter.
Well, on Twitter you can do the following now, and you will only see your followers. There's a lot of other issues with it, but yeah.
But you have a fighting chance. Okay, so there's that, and so just pay attention. Maybe in the next monthish, maybe there'll be an announcement. Maybe. I don't know. And then Mountain View reverse engineering meetup. We talk about it all the time. I think we've already mentioned at least twice.
At least.
In just this show. So we're going to do something a little new. I will be hosting, and yes, I'll be hosting and serving as MC of the first Mountain View reverse engineering meetup Jeopardy show.
Jeopardy style. I don't know.
No. Well, what counts as Jeopardy style? Jeopardy style, TM. What does that mean?
No idea.
Well, you come to the meetup, and right, we're going to need 3 contestants, and I don't know how we're going to select them yet, but on August 9th, which is a Wednesday, between 7 and 9:30ish or something like that,
yeah. You
come probably to the Wagon Wheel in Mountain View.
Check meetup.com.
Yes, join the meetup. You'll get all the deets, and you'll probably also get access to the Discord eventually. But anyway, you come August 9th, Wednesday. We're going to need 3 contestants. I don't know how we're going to pick them, but, fun is going to be had by all. Nobody's going to care whether you know the answers or not. Why? Because it's going to be on all facets of reverse engineering. Do you know about definitions, tools, history, culture, media?
Who was the guest in episode 35?
No. We're not doing that. No. But if you're not, look, you may not know a fuzzing from a hole in the wall. I don't think that's how that works, but whatever. But if you know a lot about movies that have hackers in them, maybe you'll score some points on the board. Maybe if you know some music that talks about hackers or something, or has the word hackers in it.
All right.
Or was in the movie Hackers. I don't know. I haven't figured out all the questions yet. I have a team of people helping me on this. But
you do?
If you know, yeah,
Oh,
if you know about buses, if you know, like, just terms, tools, whatever, just come and stick your hand up, or throw your, I don't know, your hat in the, do you have a hat? I don't know. Throw something in the ring, and maybe you'll be chosen to compete on Reverse Engineering Jeopardy. There you go. There's my sell, guys. So that's part of the reason why I have to watch all those hacker movies, guys.
oh, it's tough.
It is tough. Oh my God. And because remember, there's also TV shows.
That's true.
That's a separate category. Look, I'm trying to like give people a fighting chance. Like if you remember the movies better than you remember like the direction of your UARTs, TX and RX, that's fine. You'll be able to score some points. And who the heck knows what Final Jeopardy is going to be like? By the way, hacking is allowed.
How?
Look, if you can figure out a way to like block everyone else's buzzer or get an
It's
answer,
called
look up
wire
an answer.
cutters.
We're not having physical buzzers, but maybe your cell phone might matter tremendously.
No, jamming, please.
Yeah, so that's the plan. There may or may not be fabulous prizes. I don't know. But, you might be able to take away the title of Reverse Engineering Jeopardy Champion, which, as you know, is pretty much as good as money. I don't know for what. I don't think you're going to be able to buy a house, but, maybe somebody will give you a drink. Who knows? And
don't worry, it's prestige.
The place that we usually have the meetup at has really good barbecue. So come, join. I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I mean there's some links, but they're not that interesting. We can.
What do you mean? You put them in there for a reason.
Well, there's a story about a car theft through the headlight. I don't know if you saw that. So.
No, are you just blinking the car, the headlight?
No. There's a guy who I forget where noticed his parked car. I think it was a guy, but in the headlight, somebody had popped it out, and it happened a couple times. And then his car was gone a few days later. Like somebody stole the car, and I think his friend is a kind of a CAN pro. And I think they were on the Amp Hour at some point, actually. But they basically figured out that the CAN bus goes to the headlight for control. And you're able to give the, hey, unlock me command in the CAN bus. So if you pop the headlight, you can plug into that.
So basically, it's an access
and
thing.
And yeah, you can just replay the unlock and start car. And then goodbye, there goes the car. So there's a really nice write-up I'll from someone who kind of theorized that this was what might be happening, but then later found out that you can buy these tools, and they look like Bluetooth speakers, like a JBL Bluetooth speaker, and inside is kind of a CAN bus adapter that and these sell for like a lot of money, like thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know how much. But it looks like
I was going to be more worried if it was like a couple hundred, like
well, no, because someone's trying to make money. Like you could make this for cheap, but people are trying to make money out of it.
But why?
And so they don't go into all the details exactly, just for those reasons, but just the figuring out how they did it and all that stuff. It's pretty good in this by Canis Automotive Labs. Ken.
What's interesting to me is that, for all the stuff that we do on set-top boxes that made it so hard to like access, like what we were talking about with what was the name of that thing? Murdoch's Pirates. Set-top boxes notoriously, they don't have any buses really exposed. Like design-wise, they just don't expose shit. Okay. Much less unencrypted. For consumer, there's often a review to like see whether there's anything that we could, obfuscate or what have you. But like with the routing of like the CAN bus around the car, because it's used so heavily, like it just feels like how did you guys fuck this up that
Well,
bad?
and they usually
Like,
have multiple buses, right? Like the
yeah,
CAN
yeah,
bus for
yeah.
the headlights doesn't have to be the one that unlocks the car
Mhm.
and starts it. That could be
Mhm.
firewalled, right?
Like, it should be
Because yeah,
gated.
yeah, they
Yeah,
usually have
exactly.
gateways, and you'll have
Exactly.
multiple CAN buses or LIN buses, or all sorts of buses.
Like, a node has to be, yeah.
But yeah, so for this specific car, they didn't do it right, and that's gonna be a fun fix.
So, do we happen to know what the brand of the car was?
Let me check. Bum. Trying to see if
CAN bus. I hear people use it to steal things. Is that
it's
my
a
next shirt?
hybrid, but where is the
This
Toyota?
feels. I was gonna say, I'm like, it feels so Toyota.
Some sort of Toyota. RAV4? RAV4.
RAV4. That's the kind of car I would go to the beach in.
And a hybrid. Yeah, no, there's
Oh,
pictures. Yeah. So that's a good
okay.
read. It's a good technical read. I
Hmm.
recommend it. And then there's,
Cool.
for those with less time, there's a quick write up on reverse engineering. This is the title: Reverse Engineering a Mysterious UDP Stream in My Hotel. So this is someone
Hmm.
who was staying in a hotel, and there's a connected TV or something, and I guess he plugged
Yep.
in and started seeing UDP traffic, and then decided
Yep.
to figure out kind of what was going on. And so it's a simple write up, but it has some examples of using Python sockets to kind of
Yep.
receive the packet and then decode it and then figure out what it was.
And what was it?
I think it was the elevator music.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna like the spoilers are gonna really bug anybody here.
I think it was an audio stream for the elevator. I think.
What? It like it's listening? What?
Um, yeah, elevator
Because
music.
that's one
It
of
was elevator music.
oh, so one of the things that like kind of weird me out about buying a new TV these days is all the crap that's in
Yep.
there and like checking to see whether it has one of those cameras to see whether it's
The new
seeing whether you're
fancy
engaged.
Sonys will gladly tell you they have a camera. So yeah,
Like, hi, we have a
no,
camera.
it's like
You
prominently on
want
top of
it?
the TV, and they proudly say it. I recently finally upgraded. My last TV was from 2011, and it was still working fine. It had a
Yeah.
Yahoo button on it on the remote. It was great. Um, but it did. It literally had a Yahoo button.
If you pushed it, did you say Yahoo or did you like cross out the O so maybe someone give you like a or move the O around so you get a Yoo-hoo
Ohio. Yeah,
instead
no,
or
it was yeah. But I finally upgraded to like a new like a 4K, much
uh-huh.
bigger
Yeah, yeah,
OLED.
yeah.
It's so nice.
Mhm.
I went for with the LG one though because yeah, the Sony one had all these extra smarts, and at first I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna plug it in.
I like what you say has extra smarts.
Yeah, well, I want a dumb TV, but you cannot get a dumb TV that has good color. Like it's gonna be only
No.
outdoor stuff that's like oversaturated
Yep.
and way too bright,
Yep.
and you're not gonna get like the nice OLED. So I got the
Yeah.
LG one because it's not Android TV. Most everything
Yeah.
is using Android TV these
I
days,
know. I know.
and then the LG ones have WebOS, which I don't know if
Mhm.
you remember WebOS. I think it was from
Yes, I
Palm,
do.
and then HP took it over for a
Yes,
bit.
it is.
But I was like, well, I just want, they had better reviews for kind of the experience, but I'm like, I'm not going to plug it in anyway because I have a Roku. I'll just use the Roku.
You're just gonna connect
Yeah,
everything
but I
externally
did
because you already
recently
have it.
plug it in though,
Uh-huh.
because I got some advice, which was correct, that for the
You would
best
update?
quality HDMI, well, depending on which Roku you have and which cable you use, you
Yeah.
might not get the best codec and audio. So if I'm running it from
Uh-huh.
the Roku, I can get HDR10 and Dolby Atmos audio, but
Mhm.
Dolby Vision, which is like a different kind of encoding for HDR
Yeah.
and stuff like that, only works with the native app, and it actually
Yeah.
it looks so good. But you have to go into the settings and turn off like, please don't show me ads. Like,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's an opt out.
god.
But at least it doesn't have a camera.
And you said okay, so you said LG.
Yeah, I got the LG C2.
Excellent.
And then the best, I mean, this is very reverse engineering relevant, not. But so the TV was a great upgrade. I'm a huge
Yes.
cinephile, but the biggest thing after that, I got a new sound system with.
Oh, yes, I need to know about this
So
because.
I used to have a just my speakers from high school, which was like a big. It was a Logitech subwoofer, and then it was like 150 watts. It was like a loud sub
Mhm,
and two
mhm.
speakers, and I would connect into my old TV with the line out, but the line out didn't have
Yeah.
volume control, so I ended up
Nope.
making this whole circuit to.
So you did not use a receiver or anything
No,
like
no, no. I
that?
was like, well, I had these speakers and I had a TV, so I just
Yeah.
plugged them in, and I actually made a whole project. It's on my blog. I made this
Mhm.
board to have an IR receiver and then a digital
Yeah.
audio pot, if you will, so I could
Yeah.
use the TV remote to change the volume on my speakers.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
earlier this year, I think, or late last year, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get a sound bar. So I got it like a
Mhm.
cheap sound bar, and it was a little bit better. But then once I upgraded TV, I was like, you know what? Now that I have fancy audio and whatnot, I got a
Mhm.
nicer soundbar with the rear speakers,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Atmos system, and it's
Yep.
like got up firing speakers, and it all calibrates,
Mhm.
and it's just so much
Yep.
fun to hear stuff behind me. It still freaks me out all the
Yes.
time.
It is, it
Even
is.
playing
Yeah.
Zelda, that has surround sound somehow, and it's just
Yeah.
so much better.
I'm also looking for, my first soundbar set, and because we won't have space to put speakers
Like
up
big ones, yeah.
easily wirelessly, so I'm, like, looking at the ones where, like, you can, like, chart like, the rear ones you can charge on the soundbar, and you can detach them when you're ready to use them.
Yeah, so the Sony I got, they had option for the rears to also be
Mhm.
rechargeable, so
Mhm.
they can be wired or not. I didn't get the
Yeah.
wireless ones because I
Yeah.
just didn't need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can live wired, or you can detach them. They can work as Bluetooth
Yeah.
speakers and whatnot.
Yeah. So the just so you know, so like what I currently have is I have like a 7.1 system, and we have a transceiver, and I don't think they make these or sell these
No,
anymore,
this
but
thing.
because I tried looking, you would like put one, you would connect the rear channels on your
Mhm.
receiver back at the TV, and then you would to this box, and then you'd have the other one wherever
Yeah,
you
and it
were
has some
putting
RF
the other
link.
speakers. Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
And
that'll be,
nobody does that
if
anymore.
anyone's interested in reversing something. A lot of these older speakers work just fine, but
Yep.
if you lose one, like, or if one of them stops working, there's no like documentation or anything. Like, it's all proprietary RF stuff,
Mhm.
probably.
Yep. But they work great.
Yeah,
Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we were gonna tackle. Now that we've also done our Best Buy
yeah, right.
product review. Oh my god. But you're right, you're right. It's like I you're right. I do kind of want to know like what how those work if I'm gonna I might want to keep just those and maybe not the all the speakers themselves because
Yeah, yeah. Like
it's just a lot.
if later on the soundbar goes kaput, the
Yeah.
rears will be useless because it's all wireless, and
Yeah.
which is really sad. But it's part of the
It's part of the circle of technology.
unfortunate, right? Because it could be a
The
totally
cir-
open standard, and I'd
Yeah.
still go buy the speakers.
I think the thing that was very surprising to me looking at TVs was that there's Matter, like, they have the Matter logo on a lot of these TVs now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. It's so yeah. I'll try to get some episodes in while I'm in Germany. I got I don't have it here, but I got. Oh, I do have them here. I'll show you.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna beatbox
No, no, no.
while
I'm back.
he's
No
doing that.
beatbox, please.
Oh.
Uh, so I keep seeing YouTubers use these, and some
Mm.
of our friends, and it's a
Oh, shit.
DJI or
Hold on.
DJI. I always see DJI mic, and
Uh-huh.
it's you can't see anything, can you?
I can see. Well, I mean, I can see that you're holding up something.
Yeah. So it's a two microphone system. It's wireless. So you have these two mics that you can clip on, and they both record independently. And then there's the receiver in the middle, and then you can plug this into your phone or tablet and record onto that. So that it records in 2 spots. Each microphone records its own, and it wirelessly also records here. So you can just take them and clip them, and we'll see how it works in Germany. But it's super portable because you've used my previous.
Yes, the handheld. I like the handheld.
Big,
like that's just kind of classic. It is. It.
The downside of this is only 2 channels. Like the other one we could do 6 or 8, but realistically, I rarely do that.
Yeah, if I was sampling for music, if I was sampling audio to basically layer for like a film or something like that, I would want to use that. But for recording for
voice,
for a podcast, it just does, we just don't need that.
No, and these clippers are great. One has a magnet, so you can put it in your shirt without actually clipping, or some people clip it to their cap, or just, I see a lot of there's this one, and then there's...
I thought you said clip it to your cat. It took me a moment to realize that you said cat.
I mean, there have been cats on podcasts we've been on.
You've seen my cat's ass a lot.
Well, Embedded did a whole cat podcast once for April Fools.
I heard people never forgave them for that.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I heard a rumor there.
I just listened to it for a bit, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not listen to the rest. It's fine, no biggie. I guess people kept listening to see when it would start. I know. I think we've gone off the deep end. Should probably
we have. Out. But hopefully you're all entertained. Okay, great. So Alvaro, I have to stop touching this. Alvaro, if people want to find you and you want to be found, where can they find you?
So I am still at Alvaro Prieto on Twitter. I barely go there anymore, but I'm still there.
You find him.
You can message me. I'm on Mastodon. I'm on Blue Sky. Alvaro something. I don't know what it is. It's all on my website, alvarop.com.
Yes. Okay. I am okay with being found in these mediums also, usually as Rebelbot Jen. So Blue Sky, Mastodon, Twitter, whatevs. You can also contact us about the show by using
some means. Preferably come up and say hi if you're in person. That's always fun.
If you're wearing the shirt, come by and see us.
Oh, somebody wearing your shirt at SummerCon.
I thought it was at OpenSauce, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was not. I would have noticed if anyone was wearing it at OpenSauce. No, it's someone on the Discord posted that they saw someone with the shirt on. So
yes,
awesome,
yes. Cool. So you can find us on Twitter at unnamed_show. I think that's also how you can find us on the Mastodon. Yeah. On the Mastodons. You can always go to unnamedre.com. I didn't prepare a list of shouty outies for our Patreon people, but
thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You can always review us on your podcast app, but I would not use this particular episode
this is
as
bad
the baseline,
reference.
as the
representation. If this is the first time you're listening to us, good on you for sticking around. There's better episodes with guests.
Go back. Just go back. Maybe we'll put a little Easter egg.
The past 2 were fantastic.
Yes. Nobody said anything dumb in the previous ones, and there was no laughing whatsoever. Okay, well, I guess that's it. You ready to go?
Have a good one.
Bye.